Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Um, I know the Lord wants us to be faithful, in the midst of everything because we are going through trying times. When we look at the state of the economy, we look at inflation, we look at the price of food, we look at the cost of living. We just look at the fact that we are just spending so much and there was a time you could get a little satisfaction if you just had the right food, if you were eating the food that would satisfy you and whatever. But now you can spend so many dollars and get so little, and the quality is just not the same. So I can see that we are headed toward a famine. And not only are we headed toward a famine in the natural, but it seems to me like we're headed toward a famine in the spiritual because there are not many people that are really preaching the word of God. I know people are saying that God is going to do a new thing, but it also says that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And it also says that he didn't come to do away with the law and the prophets. He came to fulfill the law and the prophets. So, people are they're taking little scriptures and, here and there and trying to build their lives, and not really eating the whole roll, because God, I know God is grieved. And, I was thinking about, a dream that he gave me a couple of days ago. Oh my God. It was just like he was showing me I was riding on a school bus and a group of children, they were not sitting in rows, but they were just like they were surrounding the bus driver. I was on the bus, my partner was on the bus, and I said, God has me on this bus because he wants to teach me something. God is just so profound. And if anybody is a digital creator, God is that, because he can teach you in parables, So I realized, that I need the Lord. And I just decided to come on, because I want to do something for him. I realize we're living in stressful times. With he showed me we're living in times when marriages are under attack. We're living in time when families are under attack. Like I was thinking, I said, now when I started working over 40 years ago, I said, if the boss was crooked, he wanted you to be righteous. But people don't value righteousness now. And we are living in a time now when people despise you if you're good, But I remember, when in the Bible, I think it was Abraham was reasoning with God because everybody can reason with God now. Because in order to come into his presence, you have to come in repentance, because we know that our righteousness is just like filthy rags. So we're not saying that, because we're wearing a dress or because we don't wear makeup or whatever, means that we're so righteous because God is looking on our heart. And the thing is, you can go through so many trials when you are righteous that you do become bitter because the goal of the enemy is to make you curse God and die. In Revelation, the second chapter, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about when the Son of Man returns, is he going to find faith on the earth because of all the trials, because of all the tribulations? And I feel like it's not fair to people to promise them that living safe is going to be like a fairy tale. That if you just do, everything you're supposed to do, you're just going to have you're going to tiptoe through tulips, because Jesus said in the world you should have trial and tribulation, but be of good cheer because I have overcome the world. Because you think about, we can't be holier than thou because, when Jesus was taken up on a high mountain, Satan showed him all the kingdoms of the world. And he said, "Oh, God." He reached me. He said, all of these things will I give you if you would just bow down and worship me. He said, because they are mine to give. So we realize the enemy is the prince of the air. And so what has happened is sometimes we can be so careful and so troubled by so many things that we neglect our souls. You think about the man in the Bible, the parable of the rich man who had so many barns. He said, the Lord. He said he was going to tear his barns down and he was going to build more barns. And God called him a fool because he said, this night thy soul be required of thee. And what can a man give in exchange for his soul? So we need to really, take seriously that one day we're going to have to give an account. And I know I need the Lord because it's so easy to be distracted, especially if you're looking at social media and whatever. You look at people, everybody, that has a channel, everybody that has a platform. Of course, they're trying to portray, their best. They're trying to put their best foot forward. But who really is living for Jesus? We may be preaching for, oh God, show me, we may be preaching for likes. We may be preaching for popularity. We may be preaching, to compete with someone else who's bringing the gospel. It's just so much that we're doing that God might didn't even ordain. I see everybody just like a copycat now, but you got to come to God as you are, because like I heard a prophet say on Sunday, when God saves you, He does not change everything about you. You're still you, but you're appointed to be a light. So I'm going to read just a little bit, excuse me, in the book of Job. Because Job was a man who was a perfect and upright man. And because he was perfect and because he was upright, the enemy had an ought against him. And he went and asked God for permission because he said, does not Job serve you for naught? In other words, Job got children, Job got cattle, Job got everything. And it seemed like he has a hedge around him. But he told God, he said, if you reach forth and you touch him, you take those children, or you take his, he'll curse you. God, yes, Sam. Bathe him, Jesus. Touch him, Lord. Touch his soul. Say, deliver his job. God. Come and anoint me, oh God. He reached me. Come and anoint my mind, God. Bathe me, oh God. Build a body, God. Fill a body. Bekobo, City Alabohosa. God, rain on her. Halaminio, City Alabohosa, God. Shadebe, City Alabohosa, God. Shandanamoku, City Alabohosa, God. Shine, Sarah. Say, Kananabo, City Alabohosa, God. He renounced her. Come and anoint me, oh God. But all I'm saying is, we have to keep some oil in our lamp, because we're going through. I see, I look at my husband, old man, and I look at these people, how, females just don't have any standards. They look like they're labeled anybody, like they'll drop the bridges at the no standards at all. And we need the Lord. I'm not gonna say there are no age women that are teaching the young women, but there ain't very many. And I'm not saying you got to walk around and look like a nun. I'm not saying that. But I do know this. God have always wanted you to make some kind of difference between clean and unclean. You don't have to, my goodness, But I need the Lord myself. And I realize you have to stand in a holy place, because He coming with His, oh God, with His reward in His hand. So this is Job, the 7th chapter. It says, is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of a hireling? As a servant earnestly desireth the shadow, and as a hireling looketh for the reward of his work, so am I made to possess months of vanity, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. When I lie down, I say, when shall I arise, and the night be gone? And I am full of tossings to and fro. unto the dawning of the day. My flesh is clothed with worms and clods of dust. My skin is broken and become loathsome. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle and are spent without hope. Oh, remember that my life is wind. Mine eye shall no more see good. The eye of him that hath seen me shall see me no more. Thine eyes are upon me, and I am not. As the cloud is consumed and vanished away, so he that goeth down to the grave shall come up no more. He shall return no more to his home, neither shall his place know him any more. Therefore I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. Am I a sea or a whale that thou settest a watch over me? When I say my bed shall comfort me, my couch shall ease my complaint, then thou scarest me with dreams and terrifiest me through visions, so that my soul chooses strangling and death rather than my life. I loathe it. I would not live always. Let me alone for my days of vanity. What is man that thou shouldest magnify him, and that thou shouldest set thine heart upon him, and that thou shouldest visit him every morning, and try him every moment? How long wilt thou not depart from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? I have sinned. What shall I do unto thee, O thou preserver of men? Why hast thou set me as a mark against thee, so that I am a burden to myself? You talking about everything you need is in this Bible. Ooh, Shandalabakusirialabahosha, he showed me. And why dost thou not pardon my transgression and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and thou shalt seek me in the morning, but I shall not be. It's a blessing to just have a mind to read the word, because when we are going through, we our souls still be trying to find God. Isatokorabosha, Shedebe Sirialabosa, Shia Sarah, Sekolebe Sirialabosa, cry. He reveal, he mender now. Bathe the sorrow. Sekolebe Sirialabosa, Shia son, Sekolebe Sirialabosa, God. He reached me. Come and anoint me, oh God. Fill me, Jesus. Bathe me, oh God. Fill